Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1, trying to get this done. We've had nasty weather here, so let's see if I can do it between the storms that are hitting us. We're getting inches of rain, so if you're out in a drought, I got lots of water I can send you. But let's go get right into it. Boots on the ground. This is a major hotel company. This is peak time of the season for them. But for the last 3 weeks, call volume is way down. No reservations. They're actually offering their employees that man the phone time off. This is a gunsmith. What he's seeing is he's ordering parts, they're coming in, but the finish on the parts are not what they used to be. He doesn't know if the same quality metal is being used, but he can tell that the finish is not the same. So are they trying to get mass produce as many out? Do they have inferior workers that don't care? He also said that he's seen some damage from firearms. One particular was a 10mm round that caused some problems that he had to deal with. So he's also wondering, could there be quality of ammo problems? Let's move over to Georgia. This is a recycling facility for rubber. There was a fire there. So far they have not released the cause of fire. This guy works for a multinational company. They cannot get any new work vans. No new work vans, and they need some. Their old ones are breaking. They're at the dealership, but the dealership cannot get any parts to fix them. Also, their job that they do, they can't get material to do their job. A lot of people have sent me pictures of empty grocery shelves. Lots of spots. It's funny because some places are fine, some places are not. I don't know what the correlation is. This is a Whole Foods grocery store. Shelves are full to the brim. This grocery store is in an area that a lot of wealthy people, also college kids use this from Ivy League schools. He did show me that roast beef has gone up from $10.99 2 weeks ago to $18.99, so $8 increase. I think that's per pound. This guy has a YouTube channel, so give him a shout out. His YouTube channel is from F-R-O-M, from point A to point Z, so go check him out. This is Northeast Pennsylvania. Person had 6 chickens, woke up and found them all dead. No sign that they were attacked. I guess they were tested also because of the bird flu, but no diseases present. The owner thinks it's the result of a bag of feed, so a feed problem. Wisconsin. This is a large plastic injection molding plant. They're very busy. They're actually working overtime because they have massive labor shortages there. This guy works in the maintenance department, and he's saying parts to keep the machines running are delayed. And his quote here, eventually factories will be shutting down due to the lack of repair parts. Let's move over to Maine, where you can buy firewood. Last year, firewood for a cord was $260. This year, it's $350, and no new customers. The guys are covered up, high demand, and a long waiting list. They also said that gas is around $5 a gallon, and diesel's about $6. They're also in the lobster business and lobster trap material. The coated wire, all the different ropes they use. The prices have nearly doubled this year, and there's a long wait time to even get this material. He says demand from Asia for our lobsters have dropped way off. Also, let's move over to Arizona, where gas is $5.69, diesel is $5.95. No DEF, that's the additive for the diesel, none at the local Costco. Last week the wife went in for a medical problem, and they said the staff was very short and rude with them, and that could be because they're just short-staffed majorly and overworked. They did have a contrast dye, so they did use that for some type of scan, so that was a blessing. Also, his friend went to the movies, and that was on the 10th of this month, and the debit and your credit machine was down at the snack bar. I'm getting a lot of reports of machine for credit and debit card being down. I don't know if that's normal or if things are just wearing out and they can't get them replaced. Also, this guy works for the sheriff's department in the jail, and he says, his words, critically short-staffed. Let's move over to the Michigan plant, the Abbott plant, where they make baby formula. They were trying to get that thing fired back up, but guess what? They had a flood and a few more weeks of delay. Major problems trying to get babies baby food. Let's go up to New Hampshire. State residents were warned that their electric bill will be going up. Huge increases. Go to Delaware, a grocery store. She went in to get some eggs. No eggs of any kind. Milk, extremely low. Chlorine that she uses for her pool. Usually they use 50-pound pail. for the whole year. The season has just opened up and she's already used 50 pounds. So she's wondering if there is weaker chlorine out there. And this year she got something that's not as good as last time. Speaking about no milk, my wife went in to get milk and none, absolutely zero 2% milk, be it name brand, be it Walmart brand. I've never seen that, but no 2% milk. Central New York, we're paying $2.58 for heating oil. $2.58 went up to $5.49 right now, so that is a 110% increase. They normally use 750 gallons to heat their house in Central New York, and that is set at 62 degrees. They did just get a pellet stove, so hopefully they can get that in and running. Gas is at $5. Diesel is at $6.39. This person has a complaint. They had some chickens. They were doing good. They opened up a new bag of Purina Lane pellets, and they noticed a drastic change in their chickens. No eggs, coloration of their comb. So I'm getting more and more people saying about their chickens. I don't know what's going on. This is a highway construction company in Massachusetts. Normally, last year they used $15,000 in diesel a week for their business. Now they're using $35,000. So from $15,000 to $35,000, that's a huge increase in a year. Also, cannot find any help. This was reported, I think, a little over a week ago that a company that supplies parts for a major manufacturer of cars looks like they were going to slow down, and this guy nailed it. They just were told that the car manufacturer doesn't need any of the parts that they manufacture, so they actually eliminated 14 jobs and are slowing everything down because they don't need any more parts. This manufacturer is not knocking out the cars like they used to. So this guy wrote, so this confirms that production at major car makers is slowed down and is now causing ripple effects throughout the automotive suppliers. This person went to 3 different Save-A-Lot stores. They're very low or out on all canned vegetables or fruit. Boxed foods are almost completely out. Canned meats had 48 cans of tuna fish left on the shelf, but don't worry, they bought them all, so there's no canned meats. The meat department of fresh pork and chicken and beef were very low. They did have a lot of processed meats and hot dogs. This person works for manufacturing they make special bearings for all kinds of industry. I think they must be in management or they own it, I'm not sure. Basically they said no one wants to work. He hired 10 assemblers, and this is a sit-down job paying $22.45 with a minimum 45 plus hours guaranteed work. 9 of these new employees walked out at lunch and did not come back. 9 out of 10. I guess he sent 58 drug tests in, probably for, I don't know, new employees or probably old employees, but 58 people got tested, only 10 passed. He said a 58 and a 61-year-old grandmother tested positive for cocaine and meth. 2 grandmas tested positive. That's unbelievable. He says his prices are up about 30 to 50% for his supplies and materials in the last 4 months. This is from a warehouse supervisor for the largest prescription or pharmaceutical packaging company. They package it. He says his normal ride into work is 21 miles long, and it usually took him 45 to 60 minutes because there's so much traffic, and especially semis. He says now 1/3 of the semis are on the road, so it is only taking him 20 minutes to get to work. It's much better for him. This is just more and more evidence that truckers are not out on the road hauling what we need. Also, our packing jobs are disappearing. They're cutting back. 15% of all of our labor is gone, and he's never seen this in 35 years in business. 35 years. Now he had to lay off 15% of labor. He said even with COVID still floating around, we are slowing down to less than half our normal operations. His words, it's getting scary. It's getting scary. This guy was getting his HVAC equipment looked at, and especially I think his heating system, and the HVAC mechanic that was there doing it said, you need to look at your heating system now, because if we need any parts for it, it's probably going to take until wintertime to get them in. So look at your HVAC equipment. Make sure it's ready to go for wintertime. Another person heard CPAP machines are taking longer to get because of the chip shortage. Let me address that. We had a lady that needed one. I had 11 people offer. I was going to talk about this earlier. I just forgot. 11 people offered to help her. Either they had a used machine or we're going to help her financially to try to find one. I thank you very much. 11 people took that as a burden on their shoulders, and they offered to help. So thank you for that. The lady's doing okay. I think we're all right, but thank you. This person said their internet service is stalling, it's slow, and the ISP said the problem is bandwidth exhaust, meaning they cannot handle the traffic. So is there some type of system failure? Is there not maintenance being done? I don't know. One person buys a survival pail of food, is 30-day supply for one person, and they're saying it went from $119 to $169. Semi-truck exploded at a warehouse in Wilder, Kentucky. If you knew anything about that, throw something in the comment section. They're not saying why it exploded or what was in the truck. This is a fluid power distributor. He's been doing it for 30 years. Pneumatic and hydraulic components and systems for all kinds of industries and shipbuilding. He's saying there's longer delivery times on critical supplies and equipment. Some things are 36 weeks out. His words, I quote, eventually industry production will slow to a point of shutting down. They also had a chain link fence behind their business, and they had barbed wire on top of it, and someone broke in on a couple occasions and stole catalytic converters off their service trucks. He also mentioned that he bought some wild bird seed and he put it out, and the birds will not touch it. No one will eat his wild bird seed. Goes back to the chickens. I don't know what's going on. This person went to 2 different Walmarts, empty shelves, and these are worse than they saw 3 weeks ago when they were there. They said eggs are very expensive. Pasta was picked through. They also went to the Restaurant Depot. It's a place where you can buy restaurant equipment. Many empty shelves. Prices are definitely went way high. And the workers said they don't even know when the next truck will come to restock. I quote, I think we will have 6 weeks to really stock up as we're seeing the negative impact of this disastrous economy here. That was quoted by the person that sent it in. This is a dialysis technician. They work for the largest dialysis provider in the U.S., and one of their clinics had to close due to shortages of nurses. This is from 2 cities in California. One of their x-ray facilities is open, and I guess another 1 or 2 is actually closed. They have parts missing for x-ray equipment, so they're trying to get these machines up and running. So which is creating, on the one facility they have still running, it's just overloaded because everyone needs to get into one place. This is Northeast Washington State. Grocery stores running low on staples like flour, oil, sugar, vinegar. The more processed the food, the more they have in stock. Her dog eats a special dog food. It's a 24-pound bag. It was $54. Now it is $73. That's a 35% increase. This is up north. This is an electrical supply company that supplies electric. They have sent notices out, a 50% increase in rates beginning in June. 50%. Water and natural gas also had large increases. Crime is way up. Especially homicide in his area. It could hit a record. Let's go over to Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is sort of some good news. They went on a day trip and they drove a lot to western Minnesota, and they said they saw a lot of farmers' fields planted, so that's good news. They saw vehicle traffic was normal, but they did say semi-truck was about 75% of normal. And they said stores were stocked in their area. This is Wendy's, Bojangles, and the post office up in a town in North Carolina. It had a sign on the buildings, exact change or use debit card. This is Fort Carson, or military fort. On post, 8 days. In an 8-day time period, fuel went from $4.49 to $4.84. It just kept clicking up. Grocery stores, $1.56 can of soup went to $2. That's like 25%. They have a retention issue in the Army, and I've been telling you about this, but he says it's so bad that higher ups are wanting soldiers to come talk to him to tell them why they're leaving. This is a fire at a I think it's a manufacturing plant. It's in Portland, Oregon. I think it started in a dumpster, spread to the building, and it looks like the building is a total loss. But they had 700 tires were inside. This is Central Oregon. The main hospital has closed 4 of its satellite labs in the surrounding cities because of staffing problems. So now if you need labs, you have to go to the main city or the main hospital. The hospital is about ready to file Chapter 11 and people are being laid off. And to finally, guitars. A guy said he's been buying guitars all his life and playing guitars, and he says some of his guitars that he's bought have just shot up in value. So that's a positive thing. He's making a little bit of money, maybe helping himself against inflation. So there you go. Boots on the ground. I still have a lot more to give you. If you have anything to offer, southernprepper1@yahoo.com. Thanks for watching.